world. My name is Max Stein, and I genuinely love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I really love video games.
Hey friends, Vinny here, and video games, I love the sound of that.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children or anyone with a brain, for that matter. Hello, dear viewer or dear listener. We have an excellent show for you today. I am genuinely super excited about this one. We have another entry in our video game music series. These always end up being the most interesting episodes.
Truly,
There's
honestly.
just something about the nicheness of video game music and the evolution of video games, and it's just, I don't know, doing research for this, I was like, this is going to be kick-ass.
Dude, it's learning about the technology, man. Learning about the tech. It's so interesting. Honestly.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah. So, in case you haven't listened to our other video game music episodes, I'll have you know, first of all, shame on you. You should go listen to them. And basically, we're going to pick back up right now where those ones sort of, where the last one we did, honestly, kind of left off in a way. We're just going to jump right into the episode today because we're going to be talking about a lot of old video games, so no Retro Zone today. Gentlemen, where did we leave off? Well, I'll tell you, okay? In our first episode, we basically talked about how video games didn't always have to have sound, but they get sound to attract people's attention, right? Then that gets mastered, and Nintendo jumps in and makes bangers like do 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 do, and then Sega takes that even farther because they put a straight up fucking synthesizer inside of the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
And that's where you get fucking shit like Streets of Rage and Sonic the Hedgehog, any of the Sonic the Hedgehogs, basically. So what I'm getting at is like video games are in people's homes, and having a good soundtrack to your video game can help you convince someone to spend $50 on it. Nintendo has sound chips still in their cartridges. These are like tiny little instruments, honestly. That the I was talking
way to put it.
I was talking to Raph, and it's like at this era, it's like there's like a little drummer boy inside of every cart, and when you start it up, part of the function of the cart is to go hit it, drummer boy, and then it just on a loop goes. Doop, 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 doop. So the music is like being played in big air quotation marks.
Data. It's just data. It's wild.
It's not a backing track, so to speak. It's part of the memory of it's the function of the cartridge is to play a little tiny thing inside of itself.
And therein lies a lot of our problems.
Looping is the standard MO. So these usually consist of, they take little tiny pieces and then loop them over and over and over again.
Yep.
And which sounds annoying, but like I said, they get really good at this, and they make some pretty damn good fucking loops, but nevertheless, that is how it functions. That Yamaha 2612 FM synthesizer that I mentioned before that's inside the Genesis, Japanese developers, killing it. Going crazy, making some of the best video game music at that time, like period.
That was
Meanwhile,
the best at that time, no question.
Meanwhile, we talked about the GEMS system, which was like a computer program assister thingy to help mostly American developers figure out
That's
how
a weird
to
way to say
make
lazy, but
music
okay.
He's right.
Because this thing was a synthesizer, so if you didn't want to be a nerd and actually figure out how the synthesizer worked, but you wanted to make fucking Bubsy, then you would use this program to make your music sound like it was like made by a sentient bouncy ball, in the words of Raph.
And the real reason I feel like that is because back then they weren't composers, they were programmers solving a math problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what they were back in like the NES and previous days.
That's incredibly poignant too, because like that is going to get solved in today's episode, basically. So that takes us to what's next. Well, ironically, it's not something. What is next is something that already is. That's right. It's yours
Yes.
and my favorite video game console of all time, launched the same year as the Genesis and 2 years before the SNES. It's the NEC PC Engine CD-ROM.
Oh, hell yes.
That one. Yes, yes.
AKA
You know
the,
it.
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
my favorite.
Shmup Master 5000.
You love it.
We all
It's
love
the
that
PC
one.
Engine CD-ROM, aka the TurboGrafx CD
Yeah.
in America.
AKA the Turbo Duo when they were together in a section.
Yes. Buck, do you have a NEC PC Engine CD-ROM or a TurboGrafx CD?
No, I do not.
Have you ever gotten to fuck with one?
I don't make that much money.
Are they crazy expensive
Oh,
now?
shit,
Yeah.
really?
Everything for the PC Engine CD is expensive. The games are expensive. They're amazing. They're phenomenal arcade quality games, but they're expensive.
Every time I look up information about the TurboGrafx 16, I'm like, what happened?
Right.
Why did this thing not absolutely destroy
It
the
was
video game
fucking
market?
Amazing. One of our childhood friends had it and brought it over, and I played what's the side scroll? Keith Courage. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I could get down with this.
So the TurboGrafx 16, like Buck already said, it much like some of the things that you could attach to the Sega Genesis to add the Sega CD to later, it would attach to the TurboGrafx 16, and it would allow you to play a technology that got invented in 1985, 4 years prior, the CD-ROM. Okay? I may have put more emphasis on that than these guys needed, but what they don't know is I didn't even think about not CDs.
Right.
CDs hold only audio.
Right. Red Book.
CD-ROMs, okay?
Yellow
Both
Book.
of these things were invented very close to one another, and they were both invented straight up by Phillips and Sony, okay? So obviously Phillips and Sony trying to make money off of their like speakers and shit. So they invent this format that plays audio extremely well. Then computers start popping. So they're like, fuck, we need to make discs that can hold data for computers and audio tracks in them.
Right.
So CD-ROMs could be put in a computer to do something like play a game, or most CD-ROMs you could just like, hey viewer, go take your copy of Symphony of the Night and put it in a CD player and watch what happens.
You'll be very impressed.
It plays the audio tracks that are on the CD-ROM.
Except for track number one, which you get
Except
a
for
warning.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because track number one's all the data.
Yeah, I was about to say I ended up figuring out that's how the architecture of these ended up being done. So the game is actually like smaller than the audio tracks. Like to get the bit rate necessary to hear a human voice, especially if you want like 8 tracks of audio in there, like it's a lot of information compared to like the size of Bubsy. Bubsy would be like a little rim on the outside.
Right. And that's when you had the previous games and you had Bubsy, what could possibly go wrong? The fidelity was really low because memory was the limitation. The amount of space that they had on those cartridges was the limitation.
Speaking
CDs
of which,
blew this wide open
that
for a lesser production cost too.
Is that the case for like 3D games as well? Like the size of the actual game itself would be much smaller than the actual audio files.
Because it's still just coding. Because it's still just coding.
Shit.
Yep.
Wow.
I know. And speaking of the amount of size, here's a point of reference for you. A CD-ROM disc can hold up to 700 megabytes of data.
Right.
For perspective, The Legend of Zelda is 64 kilobytes.
Wow.
That is less
First one,
than 1% of one single megabyte. CDs can hold 700 megabytes on them. So basically, this jump is like, we will never get another, I don't think, technological jump like this.
I mean, it's a watershed moment in video games. I think we were talking about this earlier today. Like the advent of CDs really elevated video games from like simple entertainment to like a full-on art form. Or they could evolve into a full-on art form.
They're 7,000 times bigger than what we were dealing with. Can you imagine if the PS6 was 7,000 times more powerful than the PS5?
Well, we talked a little bit about
I still
that.
won't play Call of Duty.
When we talked about Final Fantasy VII, that game would have taken, I think it was 32 N64 cartridges to fit the full size of the 2 discs on the N64, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's an absolute game changer,
Yeah.
and the PC Engine, aka the console that I was just talking about, debuts in 1988 with 2 games that use a CD-ROM to play music, and they are a game called Noriko, which is NO-RI-KO. Have you guys heard of this, Buck?
Yeah.
It's like an adventure game where you play as like a Japanese pop idol, and this game features a straight up woman's voice singing in the intro, which is unheard of at this point. Not are you really gonna? No, an actual lady is singing. But then when you get into the game, it just becomes like beep boop bop boop beep 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 again. And then the other game is Fighting Street. Do you know what Fighting Street is?
Yeah, that's the game with Rio and Kin.
No.
Right? No, I'm kidding.
Nope. Fighting Street is just Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Okay,
For
so
the
it actually
PC
is Street
Engine.
Fighter. That's
Yeah.
what the joke. Okay, all right.
Street Fighter 1.
Here
Fighter
is it's Street
1.
Fighter 1.
Yeah.
This is music from Fighting Street.
Oh, can't wait.
Oh shit. He's got goosebumps.
Not bad.
Worth the price of admission.
Damn, that
Not
sounds
bad,
really good.
gentlemen.
Holy shit!
Shit. That's good stuff, baby.
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh. So, as you can see, this still is like a chiptune adjacent, like sounding song or whatever, but there's a lot more channels for them to play with because they've got all the memory in the world, and so they get extra, and there's backing tracks and under tracks and all this shit. Fantastic stuff. Another notable game for this PC Engine, one that I think people point to the most, is Ys 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Chronicles. So they took the 2 Ys games, put them in one CD-ROM, and released it for the PC Engine. And this game exemplifies just how many chiptunes you can fit onto one CD. There's 41 musical tracks on this fucking game, 24 minutes of character voice acting, and 20 minutes of animated cutscenes.
Wow.
And this game's English localization was the first of the series to use voice dubbing. All of that shit happens in this single game.
Wow.
So here is music from Ys for the PC Engine.
That's a bop.
Good shit. As you can tell, looping is a thing of the past.
I mean, total tangent, but this is.
We do not need to loop anymore. Now we can just make songs. And
We've known how to
Sounds like
record
Eric
music
Brown.
for quite some time now.
quite some time. Yes.
Wild.
The problem is getting it on something that size. Have you guys ever played the Ys games, by the way? Buck, you ever play those?
Just the third one for the SNES.
I didn't realize how legendary they're supposed to be. I've never played any of them.
Japan, they love them.
They're supposed to be like
like
some
the-
of the best
It's one of those
RPGs of the era,
franchises.
basically.
Right?
I've
Like
only
Phantasy
ever
Star
heard
and the
of.
Dragon Slayer series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played part 3 on, oh gosh, I don't even remember. It was either like Sega CD or Super NES, whichever it was on.
When you
Yeah,
played that, I
it's
mean,
necessary.
I hear the musical influence on someone like Eric Brown, for example. Like that did sound
Oh,
like something
yes.
straight
Yeah,
out of Sea
that's
of
a good
Stars.
point.
Honestly,
Yeah, that really snappy snare.
yeah. The synthesizer really in the background, that little synthwave sort of sound. You know, yeah, it's cool.
So that is an example of using space to its efficiency with the chiptunes, but we haven't got into the idea of red band audio, which is like a technical term basically for like the idea of actually recording real instruments and people's voices for the use of soundtracks in video games. Like I said, that Noriko has one song in it that has a lady's voice, but then underneath it is chiptunes basically. So they're almost there, right? But then this gets perfected and placed in the hands of a company that is much more, sorry about that dog bark, that is much more capable of marketing itself. I'm talking about a company that is absolutely tearing shit up in 1993. Sega. Create a company that actually knows how to market itself. I'm looking at you, TurboGrafx CD. What happened? We get the Sega CD in 1993, and we also get in 1993 Sonic CD in one of the greatest video games intros of all time.
If you're strong, you can fly.
Oh.
You can reach the other side of the rainbow. It's alright, take a chance, 'cause there is no circumstance that you can't handle when you use your mind.
Hit it!
Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom, keeps you running fast. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom.
I mean, those are real human voices.
This song makes me cry. I don't know what that says about me, or if I need to go tell like a therapist about that. Or just be like, yeah, Sonic Boom makes me kind of tear up because it's so kick-ass. But yes, as Raph just said, that is a real human voice and a real guitar and a real drum machine. But yo, the Sega CD just like keeps putting out a bunch of really good examples of just like taking CDs to the max. We've got, let's see, Final Fight gets a port for the Sega CD. We talk about this all the time. We're gonna just
You're right. Yeah.
take a
The buddy cop.
open those ears, take a peep.
After years on the beat.
That's a real fucking rockin' guitar. Makes those fucking sounds.
This song makes me feel like I'm 2
it's
weeks away
funny.
from retirement.
By the same argument, because this just came up in our Final Fight episode, that I went down this rabbit hole on this soundtrack and looking for a vinyl Final Fight. There are some people that don't like that soundtrack as much because it's not about the fidelity, it's about the arrangement. Now they're just becoming music snobs.
Good.
Whatever.
I know.
They've been
right?
given
Yeah.
the choice now. You're welcome,
Kiss my
music
ass.
But you know
snobs.
what? That's what happened. We went from chiptune, synth, and limitations, iconic but constrained by the technology. And now we've got live instruments, full orchestras, rock, techno, ambient, licensed music.
Yes. Well, we haven't gotten there quite
Elevation
yet.
of
We're
an
about
art
to
form.
get there. I wanted to play a couple more. Well,
Hell yes.
that's actually, you are right, because let's not forget that Way of the Warrior for the Sega CD has straight up fucking White Zombie on the motherfucking
Yeah.
soundtrack. Let's
Yeah.
fucking go. I didn't have a white track because that'll absolutely get us copyright stricken.
Oh,
in
yeah.
a
Right.
minute.
Good call. Good call.
But I did.
1960. There you go. I did it. I did
All right.
Thunderkiss 65
Thank you.
just for you.
Yeah.
Just like
and
White Zombie.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention one of Buck and Venny's favorite games, Lunar.
Yeah.
They do chip tunes, but combine it
go.
with, let's hear it.
Oh, the intro. Oh.
So good.
夢の中では優しく
Well, the Japanese version.
Japanese
Oh.
one.
甘えたい時は星に祈りをかけ恋の謎をあなたに伝えたいの愛してると風よ早く届けて教えて気持ちをまだこんなにも震えて
Neither of us have ever heard the Japanese version of that theme song, Mac.
Insane.
Really? So, just another
Nice.
amazing example of them like taking a real audio and putting it. This is just becoming par for the course. There is one last leap that we have to make, and these guys already alluded to it, and that is in December of 1994, we get the PlayStation 1. So this is where, like Buck said, now the like doing chip tunes is officially a choice. You no longer are restricted to chip tunes because in 1995 and it's like only a couple months after because the PlayStation 1 came out at the end of the year, we get Wipeout. And Wipeout just straight up has techno in it. Just
Made me fall in love with the Chemical Brothers.
Is that who did this?
Some of the tracks, not this track.
No way. Okay.
And Prodigy.
No shit.
those guys come in Wipeout XL. This one is mostly done by some band called like Cold Snap or something.
Right, you're right.
Yeah. So
Plus the tech
evolution,
demo
like,
from the movie Hackers.
that's very on in the early life of PlayStation 1. We're already getting just licensed music. If you do chip tunes, it's a choice. Here's an interesting little thing that we sort of stumbled upon. In 1997, we get two games. Okay? We get Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy Tactics. Okay? And this is such an interesting observation that Raph pointed out that I was like, holy shit, this makes so much sense. So here is music from Final Fantasy VII. Nobuo Uematsu choosing to take the I'm going to perfect chiptunes route here.
Good point.
Any composer.
Making the chiptune sound like a full orchestra. It's oh my god, I'm getting
Me too.
goosebumps every single time that I hear this fucking track.
So me and Rav started
Those
talking
who
about
fight
this,
further.
and he's like, Final Fantasy VII is sort of is the first one to do like orchestration, but then I was like, no, dude, that's just MIDI. That's
Yeah.
just a guy who is such a master of making beeps and boops sound like other stuff that he can make a boop that sounds like timpani, and he can make a beep that sounds like a violin, and he can make a boop that sounds like a guitar, and he can make a beep that sounds like a saxophone.
And you know
The
what?
beepsophone.
I want to say,
Cinema.
honestly, it is still a testament to the technology because it wouldn't have been possible on a a cartridge. Honestly,
You would have had to have three cartridges that were just music inside of the Super Nintendo at the same time to play a track with that much detail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The layering alone with the number of channels going on. But that same year, we get a game that if you watch our Final Fantasy episode, you remember was coming out at the same time as 7 because Squaresoft didn't know whose side to take.
The goat.
They were stuck between Sony and Nintendo. And if you remember, Final Fantasy VII, as Raph stated before, almost came out on the N64.
Right.
Which is why I believe Nobuo Uematsu's like, let me stick with the beeps and boops. Meanwhile, on the game that is definitely going to come out on the PlayStation...
That's real harp. Woo! That's real harp.
Woo, yeah.
That was actual crashing cymbals.
Again,
Goosebumps. Woo! Goosebumps.
it's incredible.
Here's another track
That's
from...
real instruments in a video game.
Yes.
That's real instruments in a video game.
That's how I...
We did it, chat.
That's how
we did it.
Ah!
Explaining it to my girlfriend because I played her Sonic Boom and we were in the car and she's like, this song rocks. And I was just like, now can you imagine being a child in 1994 and then you hear this and your thought is that's a real voice and your mind would just get blown out of the back of your skull because it's so fucking crazy. Here's another piece of music from Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
Pins, chimes, things you couldn't do before.
It's straight out of Beauty and the Beast. This is incredible.
We're in the future. I mean, it's at
And
this
that's just
point,
the intro screen.
It's just the intro.
This is why I say that like the advent of the CD is like the elevation to an art form. It's because like music is so intrinsic to media, like, and then to bring it into video games and have true music, like you can invoke emotions in people without them realizing you're doing it.
Right. Here's what happened, right? You, like we said before, we had mathematicians that were coders, guys like Tim Fallon and David Wise who were doing the math problem, right? But then we had a mixture of composers, some who made the shift and thrived, like you just said, Nobuo Uematsu. You don't need realism, just feeling, right?
Yes.
And then like Koji Kondo, he's been thinking cinematically since before it was beeps and boops.
Right.
So to be able to change that over, he made that conversion. But then you had composers that emerged once this became this and took that art form to the next level. You got like Akira Yamaoka.
Yeah.
He didn't write songs. He writes dread. Like he makes a symphonic Silent Hill. It's the Silent Hill soundtrack.
Yes, exactly.
Or like Ko Otani, who did Shadow of the Colossus. He was taking an orchestra and emotion and merging them together into that too, you know? Right. So just like movies went from having like just funny 80s rock and montages, or even earlier, you know, silent movies, piano and other things, and then guys like John Williams came along and made Star Wars what it is because of his soundtracks. Yeah. That's what started happening with composers in video games.
Right. I was telling it to Raph. I was like, they did, like you said, they didn't have to be programmers. So, meanwhile, here's what's the lady that did the music for Street Fighter 2?
Oh yeah,
yeah. We said yes. That we
she's
talked about
over at
before
Capcom,
well,
just being like, "What the fuck? You could just play the piano now? I had to learn all this fucking computer bullshit for nothing. What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, and she was a pianist, right? She was a concert pianist. She
fuck this stupid ass computer. Give me that goddamn piano. I'm so pissed off.
And then she wrote that boss music to Super Mario RPG.
The last thing I wanted to touch on is, in my opinion, in 1997, the same year those Final Fantasies come out, you also get like what I think is the first time that a developer, I mean, obviously we just heard Final Fantasy Tactics doing a whole orchestra. That was absolutely amazing. But in 1997, we get Konami's Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Get ready for
and they're just, it seems like the first time where they just said, hey guys, let's not just make a soundtrack. Let's make some motherfucking kick-ass music.
That's just the intro hallway.
Let's not forget this amazing track.
Yeah.
It's just some Japanese guy in a sound booth with a guitar.
Damn! What a face melter. Holy shit.
There are like a million tracks on this.
They haven't even taken you to the library yet.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There.
Yeah. There are 34 fully just like that songs on that OST.
Yeah. Fun fact, this vinyl black hole I'm getting sucked down, Mondo just started taking pre-orders on a repressing of the Symphony of the Night soundtrack, which I, of course, pre-ordered.
Fuck yes,
wow, dude.
You know,
So-
I'd like to point out that
Yeah.
I know Final Fantasy VI has no place in this podcast, but you just nabbed my number 1 and number 2 games of all time consecutively, naturally in the conversation, one after another. Tactics and Symphony of the Night. Well done.
It's like
This
you
is
have a
my
type.
new favorite episode.
You have a type.
It was like,
I have a type.
we all know how much Vinny likes rhythm games. The music in these games is some of the best music in video game history, right? Coincidence? Probably not. But yeah, man, Castlevania of the Night to me is like sort of the culmination of the idea of using the CD-ROM to its max. And the story just sort of goes from there. Just like Vinny said, like, we were in a Discord chat before this, and he's like, basically from Sega CD to PS2 is the greatest era of gaming because it makes the most unbelievable leaps.
Yeah.
And this is the leap that happens in music.
Yeah.
In PS2, in the PS2 episode, we talked about how that does that graphical leap where it was just like, holy fuck. But this is the musical leap that just changed everything, and it hasn't. What else is there? This is the leap that happens.
We've progressed technologically. Obviously, we're progressing technologically every day, in video games and what we can do. And then with the advent of, the internet and multiplayer, which all of this predates, by the way. Online gaming was not a thing back in this era. And it was just emerging, like just barely emerging. It was its absolute infancy phase. But I mean, one man's opinion, even though we progressed technologically, I don't feel necessarily since then that games have gotten better in big air quotes. I mean, yes, you get those blockbusters that will absolutely reimagine a genre or define an era. You got your World of Warcrafts, that defined an era of MMOs. Expedition 33 is redefining an era of turn-based RPGs, in my opinion, because so many devs have pointed at that game and said, "Oh wow, we see the potential. We need to get back on this." So, just I don't know.
I feel like
great
having
era.
A huge, fully orchestrated soundtrack is now a must of a AAA like video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if you, I mean, basically everyone you pull off the shelf will not just like be a fun guy on the piano. Like they'll all have like God of War and Dawn of Horizon and fucking like The Last of Us and Uncharted and just like name a AAA game that you could probably find behind the scenes video of them filming an orchestra. But it reminds me of the idea that like not all orchestrated songs are catchy.
Sure.
Right? It's the difference between hearing the Superman theme by John Williams and then it's just like, can any of you hum the theme from Avengers right now?
No.
But can you do the Harry Potter?
Yes.
Because that's a good orchestra. So we're at this place where now it's like music obviously is a must, and having a big orchestrated thing isn't really impressive anymore. It's circled all the way back to you need to know how to just make music.
It has to be good,
like,
right? Yeah, it has to be good. We still take the approach though, especially here in like the mid '90s and the late '90s when this is becoming an art form. They're still taking the approach of how do you do a soundtrack for a game? Do you have someone write a score and create music? Do you have someone in-house make the music? Or in the case of like, it makes me think of when you're talking about Wipeout, it makes me think of like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. Go play Tony Hawk with the music turned off. That is not the same experience. Imagine if that game and a lot of the other skateboarding games that came out that didn't do as well. Imagine if that game came out without the soundtrack, the movie soundtrack, as it were, back when they used to sell movie soundtracks, right? Empire Records and that kind of stuff. That game would have fundamentally changed the way that those games are received if they didn't have like the punk ska soundtrack that they did.
Yeah, and CD-ROMs did that. That is basically all I have on the CD-ROM revolution and a lot of the games that sort of came to be and the way it shaped how video game soundtracks are now. So my summarization is thank you CD-ROMs and like
thank you Phillips
thank you Phillips
not
and
your
Sony
console.
for changing video
console.
games forever by inventing the compact disc ROM.
With that in mind, guys, kind of as a parting shot until we move on to our what else you got and all that stuff. Any top game albums or
what's your favorite soundtrack so I can go look for vinyls of them?
A favorite soundtrack or a favorite composer?
It's Symphony of the Night with a bullet for me. It's because it has everything from like oboes and clarinets to guitar and drums to it's just every single fucking instrument you can imagine is inside of that soundtrack. And
plus it's got that little bit of that like churchy organ kind of feel to it that's a little bit creepy, and
there's
I love
absolutely tons of organ used in that bad boy.
That aesthetic. I mean, I love that aesthetic. What about the Silent Hill 1 soundtrack?
I was about to say Silent Hill, Akira Yamaoka is just such a good composer.
In a lot of previous horror games, I think that's part of the reason why we didn't get a lot of horror games previous to the advent of these full soundtracks, because it was very difficult to capture that ambience other than like silence.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't really do it with the music in most cases, or it was really difficult to
Right.
do. Now you could literally just do what horror movies do and just pull them in with some scary
Ambient sounds.
yeah,
and stuff.
ambient
the
music and sound
tension,
effects and stuff.
That wouldn't just be like boo.
Imagine if Resident Evil didn't have the sound effects and the music and stuff that it did in some of
Yeah.
the scenes.
I mean,
Some of
for
it's a little
me,
off the wall in those
it's
early games, but
the Resident Evil, it's really the save room music for me that does it. It's the I mean seriously, it's the all of the
Sure,
tension
sure.
that you're feeling, and then you get to that save room, and it is like a breath of fresh air.
That's
the
a
moment
good
that
one.
music starts.
Yeah.
going.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
but you
Very
are
good
still
point.
waiting to be stabbed in the back by a safe room in a Resident
Always,
Evil game, right?
always, yeah. I never feel safe in Resident Evil.
It's a oh good.
No, you go ahead.
It's a trifecta for me. Obviously, Nobuo Uematsu, one of the greatest of the great of all times. Period. End of story. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Keiichi Okabe, who did all the music for Nier Replicant, Nier Automata,
Good
which
shit.
if you like the soundtrack for Expedition 33, I would postulate it was heavily inspired by Nier Automata. There's a lot of similarities in a good way.
Yeah.
And then third, one of the most underrated composers of all time, Jeremy Soule. This
Oh,
guy
Oh
is
my
so
God.
unbelievably prolific. He even did test scoring for Final Fantasy IV alongside Uematsu. He did some of the Harry Potter games. He did
'Cause he did
EverQuest Online Adventures.
Evermore, right?
He did all of Guild Wars. He did parts of EverQuest. Yeah. But I think the things that he's the ones he's best known for, Neverwinter Nights, Guild Wars 2, and then of course the crowning jewel, Skyrim. He did the score for Skyrim.
Imagine
Yeah, sure,
playing
yeah.
Skyrim without the score that it has. It's
Right.
a different
Can't
game.
do it.
It's
No.
a different game.
Because it's that ambient like large environmental audio that sucks you in to the world. Skyrim is not about the Dragonborn. Skyrim is about the world
Yeah.
of
Yes.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
The
With it-
Dragonborn happens to do quests inside of the world, and Jeremy Soule wrote the score for the
Yeah.
world of
That's so
Cyrodiil.
cool. Besides a handful of exceptions, which we've obviously talked about, but some of the huge RPGs and some of the stuff with the early really great composers, a lot of games were missing that piece of like the artistic puzzle. Again, just like
Yes.
when movies were missing scores and soundtracks and whatnot, and when they stopped being just dialogue and they started being a full package. This was
Right.
the piece that games were missing to kind of tie the art bow on video games are art,
Yeah,
for the most
I really
part of the
think
medium.
that the best soundtracks are the ones that you don't hear until you hear them. You know what I mean? Like they're in the background, and you're more than anything, you're feeling them. And that's why I gotta say, I mean, it's a little later, but yeah, the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack for me. Laura's
Oh, good
theme,
one.
I listen to that shit in my car every single day.
Raf's depressed.
It's a great
Gee.
song, man. It's
It's the reason why I can't listen to a lot of The Cure. It starts to get me.
Yeah,
I think it
right,
opens
yeah,
up the
yeah.
floodgates for other people to enjoy video games as well. Because I know
100%.
there are people that
Yeah.
just don't like the sounds of chiptunes.
Of course,
And
yeah.
so the
Yeah,
idea,
fine.
sure.
the idea that they can have music in them now. So
I
you
don't like
play
country
them and they're
music,
like, yes,
so that's
I'll-
fine.
Yeah.
I will play Call of Duty because it has that awesome Nickelback song in it or something. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
I'm telling you, Tony Hawk
Sure,
Part
yeah.
1 was our soundtrack for when we worked at GameStop and we were closing up shop for
Yeah.
the night. Someone would put Tony Hawk or Crazy Taxi into one of the systems and just crank the
Fuck
volume
yeah.
up while we were vacuuming and alphabetizing our wall of games. Yeah, good memories.
It
Hell
really
yeah.
opens up the discussion for our video games art, and that's really at the end of the day, honestly, what music did for video games, especially the CD. It brought up that discussion. Are video games art? And they absolutely are.
That's right.
100%.
And we probably won't do a Blu-ray episode, but that's what happens next. That's how you get the Skyrim, because the Skyrim soundtrack wouldn't fit on a CD-ROM. So that, I believe, does it for our CD-ROM revolution. Read-only memories, by the way. That's what ROM stands for. You can't write it, right? Unlike Nintendo's little yellow discs.
Oh,
Thank you so
Nintendo.
much for listening to us. Go play a CD-based game. Go play Symphony of the Night if you fucking haven't. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to get to our What Else You Got and go ahead and end our episode. See ya on the other side, listener.
PC エンジン CD-ROM システムロムロム用ソフト続々登場ハードがタフならソフトもタフだぜ第1弾 ファイティングストリートのりこ同時発売
by Edison.
All right, we are back from our break, and it is time for our What Else You Got? The section of our show we can bring anything to the table, be it video game or otherwise. Today, I will go first. I have a couple of things. I've been watching a new anime.
I like anime.
There's a new Samurai Trooper series. That's right. You heard that right. I don't know. Samurai Troopers, a.k.a. the Ronin Warriors.
Sure,
you may
yeah,
remember from Toonami in the 2000s.
There's a new one.
There's a new one. It is called...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So over there...
I know what he's talking about.
That show is called Yoroi Den Samurai Troopers over there. So this new show is called Yoroi Shinden Samurai Troopers.
You did it, guys.
Boom.
We did
First
it.
draft
We did it.
But there's only 2 episodes out now. I've seen them both. And it is everything that I want if anyone is going to reboot an anime.
Oh, okay.
Like,
The visuals look good.
it must be different but the same. Like, and so
that's fair.
yes.
No, I get what you mean.
So this
Exactly
is
what you mean.
Different but same.
this is what they do with
Oh,
the
nice.
because you might be listening to this and being like, "Oh, that's a shonen anime from the 80s, really."
Sure.
And I would say, "Yes, it is." And it was. Okay, but this one, the plot is this show takes place in the world that the Ronin Warriors happened in their real life. And it happened in their real life 80s, just like it did like it aired in our real life.
I see.
And the premise is that the now conservative government of Japan has established this like armed forces sort of thing that trains people to become Ronin warriors should the demons show back up one day.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
However, you
Sounds
end
cool.
up realizing that it is all a political ploy, and the people that they have hired to be the Ronin warriors are all just like male models. Like they are not Ronin warriors.
Oh,
They're not fighters. They're
They're
posers.
not fighter. They're all just political. Like they're
propaganda, yeah.
They're propaganda. They're used in to market like
Yeah, we get it.
cereal and fucking cartoon shows and shit like this.
It's the
And
boys.
Boys? Yeah, it's the boys. Yeah, that's exactly it.
And then one day in the first episode, the fucking demons show back up.
Oh, and they're
everyone's
not
like,
ready at all.
We don't know how to do this.
And everyone's
That's
like,
amazing.
They
Oh,
should-
Good
sounds
thing we
cool
have
as
you
hell.
guys.
The
Where
demons
can
show
you
up
watch
and they're like,
this?
it's Crunchyroll. So I've been watching it on
okay.
Prime, and it's the art is fantastic, and it's like super fucking gory. Like the demons show up and they're like,
Wow.
"Save us, Ronin warriors!" And they're like,
Wow.
we gotta go." And then the demons just start
Like cats
cutting
on fire.
people apart. They're like cutting people's heads off, and blood is spraying. They're bisecting
Oh, wow.
people and
I want to
shit.
see this now.
Yeah,
And then
that's
just
cool.
like cut to there is a demon prince who is the son of the bad guy who gets turned into a human mysteriously by one of the other demons, and it turns out that he, like due to some events that they unfold, like is an actual Ronin warrior. And so they're like, well,
Wow.
fuck. Yeah, dude, it's
All right.
awesome. Go
Sold.
watch it. Yeah.
Sold.
Venny,
Sold. Get the fuck out.
Sunrise is doing this series. They're the guys that do Gundam.
Yeah, it is.
it's really fun.
okay.
It's really
okay. Let's
Yoroi
LFG.
Shinden Samurai Troopers. Go check it out. It kicks ass. I watched a movie within the past week that I wanted to mention. It's not a new movie by any means, but the Golden Globes just happened in real life, and Paul Thomas Anderson won Best Director and Best Screenplay for one battle after another. And I watched that shit before the Golden Globes happened. Holy fucking
Movie
shit,
kicks
bro.
ass,
This
dude.
movie is so fucking
Yeah.
good. It's the guy that did There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights and
Oh,
Magnolia.
Yeah.
And it's Leonardo DiCaprio and Tiana Taylor, who's like I think she's a rapper or a singer or something. So they are like they're like
Revolutionaries, I
cultural
guess, yeah.
revolutionaries, a la like the Velvet Underground or I'm sorry, not the Velvet Underground. That's the band, right?
Yeah.
The Weather Underground. The Weather Underground or like the fucking IRA or something. And
Whoa.
it's at the beginning, they're like kind of like domestic terrorists. And then there's a little time skip. And then it's like Leonardo DiCaprio basically is like the dude from fucking The Big Lebowski, and his like comeuppance are like catching up to him. Like it's
They like have to go into hiding.
yes,
Yeah. And then
because
so
he's
he
an
becomes-
ex-revolutionary. It's not really, you don't have to like be political to enjoy it because it's just got this huge cast of good actors. Like Benicio del Toro is in it, and he plays
fucking awesome.
this kung fu instructor who is secretly like saving people who have migrated illegally to the United States. Like, and he's got them all on his. It's crazy, dude. It's so good. It's like really, really, really long, but it flies by because Paul Thomas Anderson is just like a master at just like
That's cool.
letting the plot roll. So if you haven't seen one battle after another, it won those Golden Globes for a fucking reason. Go watch that movie. It's on HBO. It kicks ass.
Sick, dude.
Buck, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
Oh my gosh. Night Rain updates.
I knew it.
A go-go.
Oh,
Volume
yes,
2.
yes. This is a Night Rain report. Okay,
Okay, this is the best part about this update, right? Me and Benny were talking about this earlier. You can tell that these developers play their own game. Because most developers, when they have live service games, sorry, DVD, I'm looking at you. When they make updates,
Give it to them.
they look at a shitload of data and they go, this is too strong, decrease it by 3.5%. This is too slow, increase its speed by 5%. And they make mathematical meta changes to change the game.
That's true.
They changed every character, like except, well, they changed Iron Eye, but he got a little nerf. Everybody else got a buff because they basically looked at it and said, Raider's too slow. He's not viable in Dawn of Night. Let's speed up his attacks, but only with these types of weapons. So he's not great across the board with all these little things like that. Executor got Revenant Summons got huge buffs to their health because they were so squishy.
Oh,
and
excellent.
They would die so fast, so they stick around longer. Their specials are more powerful, like across the board. Even new people like the Undertaker, she got some buffs to her frames with her hammers and some other things to make her more viable in those.
Wow.
So just love that these guys are like pay attention to this game and are enjoying it. They scaled back some of the shifting Earths in Depth of Night till we all had time to explore them a bunch, so we didn't get our ratings crushed. And now they've added them back in it that we've had time with the new bosses and with the new map. The new map, I am learning more and more. There's so many verticality, the levels.
Yeah,
in that
the one
thing.
with all the crystals in it.
It is insane.
It's
You're
so
like
cool.
The Great
the
Hollow.
meta's not even to run that gauntlet of bosses in the big tower. It's to run through the catacombs underneath the towers and kill all the bosses and things under there. It's
Oh,
wicked cool. So I'm having fun. I am on my New Year's resolution. I am 800 points away from Depth of Night 4.
Fuck
Wow.
So I am on my way,
son.
and that's when I hear they separates from the men from the boys.
I heard 3 was where it happened, so I'm impressed that you're at 4. Honestly,
Three
Like,
is definitely 2 is definitely silver for you Counter-Strike kids.
There's like
Two- I mean
crazy-
two is silver, where half your players are like the players are the real enemy. They're gonna die. They're gonna torpedo the run for you.
Oh, wow.
Once you get to 3, there's a little bit more of a skill ceiling, or you won't stick there for very long. When you're getting random ones where the map has nothing on it but jails, like where are the churches? You don't know. Look around. Where are the compounds? Is that fire? You don't know. You got to go look. It's hard.
That's crazy. You explained. You said that to me the other day, and I was like, "Well, fuck."
I got
would-
another one of those
God
yesterday.
damn, dude. No way. I would never survive.
It literally just comes down to
Nightmare.
killing field bosses.
Yeah.
My
Raph-
second one.
Oh,
I got
oh,
one
you
more.
have another one? Yes.
I have another one.
hell
It's
yeah.
really good. And Venny's gonna poop his pants.
oh,
Uh-oh,
boy.
get a diaper, Vinny.
This is a vinyl exclusive. Remixes done by the master himself, Nobuo Uematsu.
Oh.
Featuring the Red Wings over New Orleans. I'm talking about the Final Fantasy IV Song of Heroes vinyl.
Wow.
Whoa. Why is it called Red Wings over New Orleans?
It's not, but if you listen to it, it is.
Oh, it's got like a big like marching
Okay.
band energy or something.
That's
It's like there's only 4 songs on each side of this disc, and each one's like 10 minutes long. And the first one is the Red Wings over Baron, but it has just the most jazziest New Orleans vibe ever. This is a vinyl exclusive. The only place you can listen to this is this vinyl or some YouTube video of a dude that recorded playing this vinyl. And if you listen to that first track, it is so wicked good. And then the back side, the B side, has the the original SNES versions of Red Wings of Rebellion, Theme of Love, Battle 2, the Golbez theme, and then the main Final Fantasy 4 theme.
Fuck yeah.
Look at this
Good
Amano
find.
art.
Oh,
That's
God, I
that's
love
the
him.
whale.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
the
him.
whale
He's
up
so
there.
good at drawing. God damn, I love
He's
him.
so the Tower of Babel in the background there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful,
The
When
dude.
you
Frickin'
flip it over, it's the screen that it starts when he's explaining what's happening. This is
Yeah,
my buddy
the-
Kane, and this is
Yeah,
where
the
I'm from.
paladin.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had to get this. Absolutely, it's wonderful, and it's, I mean, literally, they don't make this on CD. You can only get it
fucking
on
rocks,
vinyl.
dude.
Super cool.
That fucking rocks.
Beautiful.
Nobuo Uematsu, the master
Kicks
of the
ass.
beep and boop.
Yep.
Raph, what else have you got for us this week, kind sir?
I beat Dark Souls 3.
Holy
Attaboy.
shit, that was
Hey.
faster
Yeah.
than the other two.
My favorite Dark Souls game. Wow,
It
boy.
is
Ooh,
definitely the
3's really-
shortest one of. Well, actually, Dark Souls 1 is technically the shortest, but the Dark Souls 1 feels more like a journey. But yeah, Dark Souls 3, I beat it. I now know what the memes about a second health bar appearing are actually about, because Soul of fucking Cinder.
Oh, okay.
When you beat Soul of Cinder, it just starts over again, but this time he has Lord Gwyn's moveset, so it's pretty cool. But
yes.
I immediately after beating it, I do want to go back because I didn't play the DLC. I was like, you know what? I was so excited to start on Elden Ring that I just went straight to Elden Ring. So I've been playing
DLC's
Elden Ring.
hard, dude.
What's that? Oh, the
DLC's
DLC. Yeah, I
hard.
know. I want to fight the Nameless King. That's the thing. Is like I want to fight the Nameless King. I want to, yeah, all that shit. But I'm gonna go back and do that later. But I started working on Elden Ring. That's my main. What else you got? I felt more prepared going into it this time around. The first time that I played it, I think I played up to like 40 hours or so on PC. This time in like the last like week or so, I've gotten all the way up to and beyond where I was in those first 40 hours that I played. I already beat Margit
Shit.
pretty easily. I beat Godric pretty easily, and I found my beloved, the Zweihander. It's my favorite goddamn. It's my favorite goddamn sword in the game. I've been fucking
Yeah.
kicking ass with that thing, and actually using fist weapons. That's the other thing that I've been using a lot. I just have the Zweihander and then a fist weapon with bleed on it, and it's fucking awesome. I'm having an absolute blast. Other than that, I jumped back into Caves of Cud. I've talked about that game a few times before. It's like a roguelike, and I don't know, man. I jumped into it the other night and I was up until like 2 a.m. playing it, just like wandering around through caves and like fighting fucking moss
Full of
spiders and
cuds.
shit
So
like that.
silly.
Yeah. It's
So
such
funny.
a good game, dude. It's so fucking great. But yeah, that's all I got, man. I've been playing Elden Ring like crazy this week.
It makes sense that you'd be moving faster through it. I mean, you've beaten all the Dark Souls games. You're
Yeah,
getting
right.
good at FromSoft games.
The
Right,
muscle memory is
honestly.
there.
Yeah.
And honestly, Dark Souls 3 feels like Elden Ring. Even though a lot of people call
Interesting.
Elden Ring Dark Souls 2 Part 2, because a lot of the a lot of the concepts
Well,
that
now you're
'cause-
just getting technical.
yeah, I wouldn't even get into it, but apparently Dark Souls 2 was originally supposed to be an open world game like Elden Ring was, but it kind of didn't pan out that way. But
Interesting.
yeah,
I've never touched Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3 is
idea.
quite good. It
Ooh.
feels the best, but the story is probably like the least good in my opinion. But the gameplay feels the best. It feels more like Elden Ring than any of the other ones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It
Very
feels
nice.
more fun than a
Yeah.
lot of the other ones.
It's more linear, but yeah, it feels more fun.
Fun. You're
Exactly
having
is a good way to
fun?
put it.
Yeah, what the
You're
fuck's
doing
wrong
it
with
wrong,
you?
Raph. Sorry.
No, I know. I get it. I'm a monster. It's okay.
Vinny, what else have you got for us this week, sir?
I'll take it home for us this week. We're watching Fallout Season 2 on
Hell
Prime.
yeah.
Oh man, it's
Hell
so
yeah.
good.
that.
It's
So
so
good.
I just saw Macaulay Culkin yesterday.
Oh,
Spoilers.
Us too.
Yeah.
Us too.
La,
Us
la,
too.
la, 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 la,
Yeah,
la.
us
Not
too.
going to spoil what his role is, but that was very cool.
Yeah.
As soon as my current prison show is over, I'm gonna remember to watch that. Damn
Oh,
it.
it's
There
quite
you
good,
go.
man.
A couple
I'm
more
officially
things.
at the point of the show where I'm having to turn to Raph and go, "Who's that?
Yeah.
Who are they? What is
It's
that?"
a lot of New Vegas references.
Oh, 'cause it's
Yeah,
New
a lot
Vegas
of New
stuff.
Vegas.
Cool.
Yeah, my favorite.
My
Fallout
wife
game.
learned what a power sledge was yesterday. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
I was having the
Yeah.
hardest time playing it on. I don't know if you've Googled like Fallout, like Prime glitch, where
Oh,
it would
yeah.
not load on my Xbox to play. I had to stream it through my phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
It would
Oh,
get
wow.
to the logo and just load and load and load, and people were online were like, same thing, same thing, same thing.
Oh,
And
so
I
it was
like,
a
"What the
widespread
fuck?"
deal?
Yeah.
Really strange. Yeah. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
Wow.
Like playing Fear in 2025.
Yeah.
Hey.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what else. I've been diving back into some Switch games that I had played previously and just
Cool.
kind of stopped. For example, Golf Story. I'm doing another playthrough of Golf
Good
Story,
game.
which
Oh, I
is
love
which is a
that
great game.
So
Great game.
good.
My wife and kids. Hang on. I have a proud papa moment here.
All right.
My
let's go.
6-year-old beat Mario Odyssey by himself.
Fuck
yeah.
dude.
That's a
He's
great
6.
game too. That's great. But you know
Hell
what?
yeah, dude.
He is gonna look back on that the same way we would have played like Mario 2 or beat those, and look back and be like, "Dang, he's gonna love that game for the rest of his life, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, you know what, my go-to was mine. That's a great choice too.
And
Yeah.
he and my wife are doing a 2-player full playthrough of Super Mario Wonder, and they are on the last world
Cool.
together.
Damn.
Together.
Hell yeah.
Co-op. I'm like, I sitting there watching them like, they were on like the second world, and they were like fighting. No, you're going too fast. No, look, you made me die again. I'm like, all right, you
Doing
two
Mario
are
Wonder
never
things.
going to get through this game. If you two get through this game, I'll let you pick dinner, and I'll have it delivered, a nice meal. So they're at the last world. I'm about to be on the hook for like a
You
nice
want melting
a
pot
nice.
to go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I'm screwed, man. I should have kept my mouth shut.
Hell yeah, man.
And last but not least, one's really quick. Still working on Expedition 33.
Yes.
I'm at a point where it's kind of opened up a little bit, which is great. I know what all the SKA memes are all about now. He's probably my favorite character. And
Wee.
yeah, wee. Ooh. But there is a game on Steam that dropped 4 days ago that I really want to play called Quarantine Zone.
I was
And-
wondering, you know, this kind of
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight crossover.
And I just saw yesterday that they're doing a light DVD crossover. You can like scan, and so the premise of this game is it's like zombie apocalypse. You are in like a military quarantine
I
complex.
played the demo for this.
And
yeah.
a la Papers, Please, you are getting one
yeah.
at a time people, and you have to evaluate whether they are clean or
Yeah.
whether they are infected.
Devolver
And
Digital.
there
Yeah.
are it's Devolver Devolver Digital published this one. But the cool part is there's a lot of like tools and like techniques and gadgets and stuff, and there's some base building to it. It's
What a cool
very
premise.
robust.
What a cool
And
premise.
I was going to buy this game anyway. And
Wait,
just
when
yesterday,
there's a zombie, you can just bonk him in the head and kill him?
oh yeah,
Got
yeah.
to.
My
But
favorite thing
there-
is when
there-
you. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There are compelling reasons why you would not want to do that in
Yeah.
certain cases, because you can like quarantine them and experiment on them and do to develop
Wow.
ways to fight against them. So, but I was going to buy this game anyway, and just yesterday I learned there is a Dead by Daylight crossover with the original
Cool.
4 survivors who
That's
actually
who
come
they are.
through
Okay.
the quarantine zone.
That's cool.
So
I
you've
didn't
got
know it was a new
Dwight,
game. I just
yeah,
thought it was a crossover
Dwight,
thing. This
Meg, Claudette, and Jake are in this game as well. So
That's
really
great, man.
really fun stuff.
that is
Yeah,
very-
It's
a
like
lot.
a what do they call? It's not just like a sim. What are they? Immersive sim.
It's an immersive sim kind of.
I guess that's what it would
but
be, right?
It's got like
just-
the base management aspects to it too.
Yeah, if you take
Yeah.
it past just the letting people in, like the Papers, Please of it, it definitely becomes
Because
more.
there's so many of these
My-
now. Because it reminds me
There's a
also
lot
of
of
that.
RPG elements.
It reminds me of that I'm Not Human game that I
It
played.
does, yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same.
Yes,
like, there's
there's
so
a
many
lot
of
of
these
that,
games
yes.
that involve assessment.
I love
Like
that.
it's
Yes,
just,
yeah,
I
just
don't-
assessing whether
You
or not
gotta
someone's
evaluate.
lying.
You
to
But
gotta
there's a lot like
evaluate.
that. Like what was that
Yeah.
party one that we played? Like the one where you try people getting into the nightclub and you were a bouncer. We played a couple
Oh
of
yeah,
those.
not
things.
tonight.
Not tonight. Yeah.
Not
so some of
tonight,
those.
1 and 2.
But how many of these do Devolver Digital get involved?
Exactly,
Right, yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
That's why it gets a big gold star from me. This is going to be a buy. There's an introductory rate going on right now that I believe by the time this podcast airs will still be going on. So they got an introductory rate going on
Yep.
on Quarantine
Until the
Zone.
26th.
Nice.
Also been playing a little Metal Slug Tactics again between
yeah.
appointments at work right
Wow.
here at the desk. So that's been fun. Yeah.
Any of the new Animal Crossing update?
man.
No, no,
No.
I don't have that game.
I got it for
And-
Tisha, and she's been playing. It's sick.
There you go.
It's good.
Yeah.
There you go. And that my Harry Potter pinball came from Jersey Jack Pinball.
I saw
Harry
that on the
Potter
Discord.
Wizarding Edition. I still have to get help carrying it upstairs. I got some friends who are movers, but I'm gonna have that set up. Have some photos for
Hell
you
yeah,
coming up
dude.
because I've yet to play it. According to Buck, it's like don't play this
Dude,
unless you
it's
want to
so
buy it
good.
because it's that
so
good.
Fuck yeah.
So
A lot going on in Vinny World this
Hell
week.
yeah.
Holy
Hell
crap.
yeah.
I like
I
it.
got Cub Scouts tonight too and a fish fry. My calendar's just nuts.
Aren't you a little
Nice.
over Cub Scouts? Just kidding.
I'm the leader, man.
So, with that, I think we have reached the end of another episode of the Game Treasure Podcast. Thank you so much for watching or listening, dear watcher or listener. It sincerely helps us. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. You know the drill. We got to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song. We got to thank RetroGameTreasure.com, the sponsor of the Retro Zone, which we did not have today, but if you go back and watch any of our previous episodes, RetroGameTreasure.com is a subscription service owned by the Megabuck that allows you to grow your retro video game collection in a hassle-free way. Instead of going all around your tiny small town to find one possibly semi-passing retro game store, you just tell Buck what video game consoles you collect for, say, the Sega CD. No, just kidding. He doesn't collect that. That's too rare. But the PlayStation 1, that's in there. And then you give him genres of video games that you like, say, racing, platformer, etc. And then every month, Buck will pack you up a box of games that are for those consoles, and they are those types of games for you to add to your collection forever in perpetuity. So start collecting retro games the easy way today, why don't you, with RetroGameTreasure.com. Don't forget to go to our Linktree. I almost forgot to mention Linktree/TGTP for merch and for our Patreon. But until next week, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure Podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.